Hey 49er fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Plenty of new news here on a Monday. First question though, what's your level of confidence in the two new coordinators, McDaniels and of course Demeco Ryans? We'll talk more about that here in a second, but level of confidence in the new hires from a scale of 1 to 10, let me know down below in the comments section. As always, this video is brought to you guys by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com/49ers for 20% off your first order plus free shipping. All right, you saw it in the headlines. A lot of new internal hires for the 49ers. Very excited about these as, of course, they lose people and then you promote from within. So the 49ers have a new offensive coordinator. It is Mike McDaniel, who, of course, is going to be replacing Mike Lafleur as the new offensive coordinator in San Francisco. Lafleur is joining Robert Saleh as the OC for the New York Jets. He's been the run game coordinator since 2017, and it makes a lot of sense to go ahead and promote him because he's been a key part of not only Jimmy Garoppolo's growth, the running game growth, but as an offensive guy overall for San Francisco. I mean, the run game as a whole, really look at 2019, absolutely fantastic. They were second in the league. They could have been good again this year with all the injuries at running back, though, and of course a quarterback setting up the run made it a little bit more difficult. But of course, McDaniel is your first promotion internally as the new offensive coordinator. Let's move over to Demeco Ryans being promoted as the new 49ers defensive coordinator. That became official earlier today as they will promote him, the current inside linebackers coach, as the new DC to replace Robert Saleh. He was one of the 10 we talked about in a video here on replacements for Robert Saleh earlier on in this week. He, of course, filling the shoes of Robert Saleh, who went on to be the Jets head coach on Friday. Congratulations to Saleh, as we have said here many times on the channel. But as we know, the players love Demeco Ryans. This was a no-brainer hire, and it shows that the Niners are very strong, not just at the top of their coaching tree, but down at the bottom for some of their positional coaches as well. Dre Greenlaw, one of the good young inside linebackers for the San Francisco 49ers, was asked about Demeco Ryans earlier this year. I pulled this quote. It's fantastic. It shows just how much everybody loves Demeco Ryans. Listen to it here. Quote, "Everybody loves Demeco just because you know he's going to coach you hard, and sometimes you ain't gonna like it, but at the same time he's gonna motivate you to tell you to do a good job, whatever you do something good. To have a coach that can give you the good and the bad, to have your back through whatever, that makes him a perfect defensive coordinator." That was pre him actually becoming a defensive coordinator, as now it is official. He is the new DC of the San Francisco 49ers. You would expect Fred Warner to only get better now as he, once worked side by side with Demeco Ryans. Demeco Ryans, a former great inside linebacker of the Texans and, of course, the Eagles, and now will continue to hopefully grow not only Warner, but the rest of this defense in San Francisco. It's very simple. Listen, good teams promote from within. If you're a good football team, means one, you have a lot of continuity from a player position group and then also from a coaching staff, and being able to promote from within just shows the luxury of, I think, just talent overall from the players, the coaches the 49ers have had over the past couple of years ever since Kyle Shanahan took over. They're hiring the right guys who make the players better and therefore give them better shots to go ahead and get promotions. The fact San Francisco goes in-house both for OC and DC is impressive. It's exciting for them, and hopefully it all works out. And I think the Niners obviously have one of the better rosters to be able to make that the case. Let me ask you guys this down below in the pinned comment. Again, level of confidence in the 49ers new offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, McDaniel and Demeco Ryans. Let me know what that is on a scale of 1 to 10 down below in the pinned comment section. Let's move on to another Watson trade news, right? We talk about Deshaun Watson every day on this show. We might as well, as he is the hot commodity right now in the National Football League, and we heard Michael Irvin weigh in on this. We've seen a bunch of national media pundits weigh in on Watson to different teams, and now Steve Young has put his seal of approval on the 49ers going after Deshaun Watson. As ESPN's Adam Schefter reported earlier today, that there's a growing sense that Watson has played his last snap with the Houston Texans, which shouldn't surprise anybody, as reports have been saying that for the past couple of weeks. Niners have been linked to Watson if he were to be traded, and Steve Young was asked about it earlier this past week, and honestly, he gave the answer that all of us would expect. It's going to cost a lot. As I keep saying, Deshaun Watson's going to cost you everything, but at the same time, you could get one of the best young quarterbacks in the National Football League. What do you guys think? Trade for Deshaun Watson? Or do you want to go ahead and just pass on Deshaun Watson and keep with Jimmy Garoppolo? Type T down below for trade, type P down below for pass. As of course, we all know we want Deshaun Watson, but it would cost a lot in the future. Here was Steve Young's comments, though, on Deshaun Watson, saying, quote, "I would give two first-round picks for a generational quarterback. These are potential Hall of Famers. Who are the generational quarterbacks playing right now? Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, probably Josh Allen. Like young guys, Justin Herbert very quickly. I would not trade Justin Herbert for less than that, even though he's won 4 games or something like that. But there's something about him that really gives me that sense. I think the 49ers have to at least try. Now, I'm not saying they have to go ahead and mortgage the future 100%, get rid of all these picks and players for Deshaun Watson. He's a can't miss. I'm not saying that. I'm saying at least make the phone call. Make the phone call and see what it would take. If they take 2 first-round draft picks, done. 2 first-round draft picks and a player? Well, it depends on the player, but I think that you can go ahead and at least make the phone call, as we know just how great Deshaun Watson has been in the National Football League, even this past year when he was a quarterback of a terrible team. I mean, he had no help around him, a terrible offensive line, the defense wasn't that great, and yet he led the league in passing yards. He had 33 touchdowns, only 7 picks. We understand how great he is and how good he would go ahead and be in San Francisco. I was reading on some blog articles, and they were all saying that the 49ers could be interested in packaging Nick Bosa as part of the trade to San Francisco. I talked about this on a show weeks ago, saying that, yeah, it'll probably take 2 firsts plus a player, and so, would you be willing to do Nick Bosa? How about this? Nick Bosa, 2021 first overall, and then 2022 first overall for Deshaun Watson. That might get it done. And Steve Young says 2 first-round draft picks would do it. I think 2 first and a player. You have Bosa, you have Fred Warner. Who do you want to give up? You got to give up a good player. This is tough, but it'd be very interesting to see exactly how that would work overall. But that's reportedly what it will cost, and the question is, would you do it? Would you give up, let's talk about this, would you give up Nick Bosa for Deshaun Watson? I'd have to think about it. That's tough. Again, like I said, 2 first-round draft picks done. I would do it tomorrow. But would you do 2 first rounds plus Deshaun Watson? Interesting. It's very interesting. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments section. Before we keep going, again, quick shout out to our sponsor for today's video, Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com/49ers for 20% off your first order plus free shipping. Pick up something like the Perfect Package, get the Lawnmower 3.0, all the different deodorants in that package as well. A great carrying case. I use that stuff every single day. The link is down below in the description box. You want to jump in on the Manscaped products, all the Manscaped line of products, go ahead and do it right now with our link, manscaped.com/49ers. Get 20% off, again, plus free shipping on your first order. Okay, final little bit of news here. I was reading that it looks like Robert Saleh is set to possibly try and poach some of the 49ers' key free agents, as he's already poached the 49ers' Mike Lafleur, the quarterback's coach, over to be the offensive coordinator. And now there were some rumors that he could look at potentially signing some of the, 24, 25 free agents in-house that San Francisco has. And this makes it, I think, interesting, like a name like Richard Sherman, who potentially could be looking at one final decent-sized contract, and maybe Saleh brings him over to be not only a starting cornerback with the Jets, but a leader on a defense that needs really a total cultural and makeover change in order to become what Saleh essentially wants them to become. I would argue that Sherman might not want to be a Jet. Would you want to be a New York Jet? Does Sherman want to be a New York Jet? That's a question that you got to ask yourself. But I think that he would at least be open to listening. If the Jets want to offer him a bunch of money to go ahead and, play his final 2 years in New York, then maybe Sherman goes ahead and jumps on that offer. Make sure you guys, again, are subscribed for different updates like this. If Sherman were to sign somewhere else, we'll cover it. And as we said here, different offensive coordinator change, defensive coordinator change. We're the first to jump on it here on the 49ers official YouTube, Chat Sports official YouTube channel for the 49ers. So make sure, again, you guys are subscribed. We know Sherman loved Robert Saleh. He even spoke about him in press conferences and in the tweet, too, saying, quote, "The New York Jets got a great one. Congrats to them." Is it enough for Sherman just to go leave what is a much better defense and a much better situation in San Francisco just to go to the Jets? I don't think so. If I'm Sherman, I'm ring chasing. And if I'm ring chasing, I'm staying on San Francisco. I know the guys know me. I like the city. I like the team. I think the team can get back to its Super Bowl caliber, at least playoff caliber play if they can stay healthy in 2021. So if I'm Sherman, I don't do it. But maybe there's some other cornerbacks. Think about it. You look at a guy like Jason Verrett. Maybe Saleh poaches Verrett or Witherspoon or Mosley. And any one of these guys, he probably has a favorite out of the 4 free agent quarterbacks or cornerbacks the 49ers officially have right now. And so maybe Saleh wants to go ahead and poach 1, 2, 3. Who knows? I think there's a very real possibility that they go ahead and do that. As you see the depth chart in front of you, basically every cornerback we know is a free agent. The Niners won't keep all of them. The question is, which one does Saleh like? And if he wants to poach some of them, maybe he will. The connection now that's been built between the 49ers and the Jets over the next couple of months, trade packages, we talked about Sam Darnold, who knows, is a very interesting, I think, something to keep an eye on overall in San Francisco, as, of course, like we said, Saleh goes to the Jets, the Niners have free agents, the Jets have cap space, and the rest could potentially be history. Again, I want Sherman to stay. I've said that, but if he wants too much money, we talked about, if he only has 2 or 3 good years left on the team, I might be inclined to let him walk, whether it's to the Jets or to somebody else. There you go. Ultimately, for today here on the 49ers Report. I'm going to jump on here and update you guys on the 2 coordinator positions, McDaniel and, of course, Demeco Ryans. I think it's great. Listen, anytime, again, promote from within means you're a good football team. You've been doing something right over the past couple of years. Big fan of that. We'll keep talking about Deshaun Watson until he's traded. If he's traded to the 49ers, fantastic. If not, then he's going to go somewhere. Again, like Adam Schefter said, the growing sense is he's going to leave. And finally, could Sherman be poached? it's interesting just because of the connection there with Robert Saleh. Again, ultimately out for a day here in the 49ers Report. Plenty more videos upcoming this week. We're back rolling here into what is going to be a great and crazy offseason. We're covering it one day at a time here on the 49ers Chat Sports YouTube channel. Ultimately out for a day on the 49ers Report. I am your host, Thomas Mott, signing off. Stay safe. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Monday. Have a great MLK day, and we'll talk to you guys more this week.